Yo, America! It's your boy Trevor back at it again with another episode of Politics More Dramatic Than Your Favorite Reality Show. Today's episode, Senator Bob Menendez, and a trial that had more twists and turns than a season of House of Cards. Now, Senator Menendez has been a big name in Washington for years. Dude's been in the Senate since 2005, but lately, he's been in the news for something other than politics, a corruption trial. Yeah, accusations were flying, evidence was piling up, and the whole thing had everyone glued to their screens. It was like watching a political thriller, except this one was playing out in a real courtroom. This wasn't just some boring legal drama though. This trial went straight to the heart of what we expect from our leaders. It raised big questions about power, influence, and whether those in charge play by the same rules as the rest of us. Spoiler alert. Sometimes, they don't. So what exactly was Menendez accused of? Buckle up, folks, because this is where things get juicy. The prosecution laid out a whole buffet of charges: conspiracy, bribery, honest services fraud, you name it. They claimed Menendez had traded his political power for personal favors, like luxurious vacations and cold hard cash. The case centered around Menendez's relationship with a wealthy Florida eye doctor, Salomon Melgen. Apparently, these two were tight, like sharing a private jet to the Dominican Republic kind of tight. The government claimed Melgen showered Menendez with gifts in exchange for political favors. The defense, on the other hand, painted a picture of a pure and innocent friendship. They said Menendez was just a regular guy who happened to have a rich friend. Nothing shady going on here, folks, just two pals enjoying the good life. Now let's talk about the evidence. This is where things got really interesting. We're talking gold bars, folks, like actual bars of gold, allegedly gifted to Menendez. Plus, there were those private jet trips, fancy vacations, and even envelopes stuffed with cash. It was enough to make you wonder if Menendez was moonlighting as a character in a heist movie. The prosecution showed emails, financial records, and even testimony from former Menendez staffers, all pointing to a pattern of questionable behavior. They argued that Menendez had used his position to benefit Melgen's business interests, and in return, he received a whole lot of goodies. The defense fought back, claiming the gifts were just tokens of friendship and that Menendez never acted improperly. They tried to poke holes in the prosecution's case, arguing that the evidence was circumstantial and didn't prove any wrongdoing. After weeks of testimony, mountains of evidence, and enough lawyer jargon to make your head spin, the jury finally reached a verdict, not guilty on all counts. Menendez walked free, his reputation seemingly intact. But was it really a victory? The trial, even though it ended in Menendez's favor, left a stain on his career. The accusations, the evidence, and the whole spectacle of a high-profile corruption trial had damaged public trust. Even though he wasn't convicted, the shadow of doubt lingered. This wasn't just about Menendez, though. The trial raised concerns about the ethical standards of our elected officials. It made people question whether the system was rigged in favor of the powerful, and whether justice could truly be served when money and influence were involved. The Menendez trial was a stark reminder that trust, once broken, is hard to rebuild. It showed us that even when justice prevails, the scars of suspicion can remain. This wasn't just a legal case, it was a test of our faith in the political system. It forced us to confront the uncomfortable reality that power can be abused, and that those in positions of authority aren't always held accountable. So what did we learn from this whole saga? Well, for starters, we learned that even in the land of the free, justice can be a long and winding road. We also learned that public trust is fragile and that once it's shattered, it's not easy to put the pieces back together. And maybe, just maybe, we learned that the line between right and wrong isn't always as clear as we'd like it to be. That's all the time we have for today, folks. Stay tuned for the next episode of Politics More Dramatic Than Your Favorite Reality Show.